Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to NGS Season 19. I believe this is week 4, and we have a game between CloneWars, the team Yavapai, and really Aggro Ghoul Elites or Rage. And co-casting with me tonight, we have the privilege of having Icon joining us.
Hello, hello.
Are you in game, Icon, so I can invite you to the lobby?
I'm pulling it up right now.
Sounds good. So, tonight we have these two Div E teams, and banned we have Garden of Terror and Volskaya Foundry from Rage, and Braxis Hold It Out and Dragonshire for Yavapai, so we will not see those 4 maps. Our first game will be on Towers of Doom, where Yavapai really managed to where Rage looked really good in the last series that we casted. Honey Badger was on Garrosh, and it was disgusting. They crushed very hard over their previous opponents. So we'll see if they're able to do the same thing this time. They told us in the post-game interview that Towers is where you take a team when you think you're better than them and can just beat them at the game.
Sounds like a little bit of confidence on one side.
Well, he also said that Garrosh is the best tank in the game, and I have to agree. When it's in his hands, it looks dang good. On the other side, we have Yavapai, known to pull out really interesting things. They tend to play range DPS in the offlane, which sometimes works for them, but I think last week or the week before, we saw a Zul'jin offlane tech that did not work, but they were able to turn it around with Hammer in the offlane, and then, was it Sylvanas? I think it was a Sylvanas offlane. They managed to pull the reverse sweep with just strange offlaners and interesting comps. So we're looking forward really to this being. Uh, I expect more standard drafts from Rage. I expect interesting drafts from Yavapai because that's just what you get. Um, but we'll probably pop into the draft. Looks like all the teams are ready, and we'll be popping into the draft right away, and we'll get some draft analysis, or maybe just some ban analysis on this map from our co-caster. Here we go. Welcome to Towers of Doom.
So I'd like to see a Dahaka ban right off the bat from either of the teams. He can really sway the team fight by soaking both top mid and then basically teleporting to the team fight whenever he chooses to brush stalker. Let's
Chromie
see if
also
that goes through.
incredibly strong on this map.
Yes. Anything that's going to delay a stall or stall out a point, Junkrat, Chromie, Hanzo,
Li Ming,
all
yeah.
really strong here. Li Ming.
So we will point out that because map pick was on the side of Rage, we do see first pick and first ban being on the side of Yavapai. They will ban the Stukov, who's also quite strong in the choke point areas around the altars on this map.
He also has a little bit of a tech here. He can stop the sappers from pushing in. Not a lot of people know that, but you can silence the sappers and they will stand there and basically allow you to kill them for free.
And they'll just turn into ugly jack-o'-lanterns at that point. We see the Johanna ban. Johanna is a strong tank and can be a bit of a pain for the Garrosh. I wonder if Yavapai's done their homework or they're going to ban this Garrosh because it is by far Honey's. They're going to first pick Garrosh on Rage's side unless Yavapai takes it first. They value it that highly on this map. They will first pick it if it's left up. Leo taken away as a value double soaker.
Lunara ban. That's interesting. Lunara can provide a lot of vision, provide a lot of wave clear as well as some burst damage.
On Yavapai specifically, I think they would use her as a double soaker, as the offlaner. They take the Brightwing for global, but we're going to see a Garrosh pick here, almost guaranteed. They take the Dahaka, and that's very strong here too, like you pointed out. He's also good at duo soaking.
Do they pick up the Garrosh?
I'm shocked they haven't already, to be honest with you. A Nubarak.
A Nubarak!
They don't take the Garrosh. If they win, we're going to have to ask them that in the interview because it looked so darn good. So I wonder... Okay, well, we have 2 more picks now for our blue team. Murden gets taken as the tank. He's very good on this map. He's good at stalling, good at getting out of tight situations. He's just very versatile. And the Sylve. I think our Luna has a pretty decent Sylve, but again, it's not impossible they switch this onto Shanks later. He has played it in the offlane before.
some type of off-lane ban here.
Zul'jin is
Okay,
banned, so they don't want to see the troll.
the troll pick.
And the final ban for the game will be coming out from Yavapai momentarily. So Sylvanas has an interesting amount of value here in that she can help you take down that bot tower fairly quickly, or a mid tower. But if your team is falling behind, I feel like Sylvanas can't do very well on this map if you're behind and defending all the time. She doesn't bring a lot. So the Tychus ban comes out to prevent the Muradin from being burned down quickly in these team fights. And yeah, with second wind and no Tychus, Muradin may be a hard kill here.
I wish I would have saw an Anduin ban.
Well, we already have one down. I wonder if we'll see the Ariel to go with it. No, we do see the Anduin Vala picked for K4 and Lagwagon.
Anduin with a Nubarak dive is very strong.
It's worth pointing out, Sunraku, I'm not sure if that is a sub or a new player, but one of the damage dealers, Rexiod, that I've been playing for Age for the last little bit, is not in this game. So we've got Sarah Lynn and Shanks with their picks for the blue team coming up.
Shanks' picks are going to be very intriguing. What do we see coming out of him right now?
Phoenix in the off lane, or he could switch with Sylvanas if he wants to, or Jungler. All three of those could theoretically off lane and be of annoyance to Dahaka. But knowing Shanks, it's the Phoenix.
It is a lot of damage.
Welcome to anyone who's joining us for Game 1 of this Divi series tonight. The final pick for Sunraku of Rage. It will be a damage pick, likely a wave clear mage. It is Li Ming, so another person good at delaying. So we have a very standard comp from Rage, and we have a comp that kind of is really good at delaying and pushing on the other side, although maybe not the greatest. Not a lot of frontline from Yavapai for long, drawn-out fights over. So we'll see. We'll see if the Dahaka provides more value or if this offlane Phoenix helps his team win. But we're going to jump in-game, Game 1, between Yavapai and Rage Gaming. Really, Aggro Ghoul Elite starts right now! And I'm excited again. Again, this is a statement map for Rage, and they're about in the middle of the standings. So they want to get the domination and climb up the standings, whereas Yavapai is a little lower down in the standings. I think they'd love to take this series and propel themselves up the standings.
Which comp do you like better?
I tend to trend towards liking the more. So I like the comp with the Phoenix because it's interesting. The comp I think will win is usually the comp that's easier to do what it wants to do. And I think that the Haka Nubarak comp knows exactly what it wants to do. Whereas the Yavapai comp, if it's played to perfection, it can definitely beat the Rage comp. But in my mind, it has to be played perfectly for that. So we'll see. But we need to introduce our teams as I'm having a brain fart here. Blue, we've got Yavapai, Andrade playing Muradin, Shanks on the Phoenix, Galactos playing Brightwing, Sylvanas being played by Araluna, and Sarah Lynn on the Junkrats. And it looks like they're choosing to start the game.
Yes, it looks like a big cheese to start the game, but I will introduce Rage. We have Honey Badger being played by a Nubarak. Swipe that, reverse that. Vala is being played by K4K, Anduin played by Lagwagon, Li Ming played by Sun Roku, and Dahaka being picked up by Urban Punk.
So, they're flipping this trade. Now, they don't have quite a strong trade, and so it is going faster for this blue time, since they did send all 5, and they do have 1 extra damage dealer, which at this point in the game is a difference maker. Now, giving up the bottom for the top does have less value overall, but again, they're going to have it down much more quickly than the members of Rage do.
But look, the Haka already soaked mid lane, so they're actually up in, they were up in structures. I'm not structures, but XP. But once this fort in the bottom goes down, you should see an overall XP lead for Rage.
They're trying to jump on Urban Punk in the mid lane. He's already used his burrow. He does grab Andrade's Muradin. Unlikely he'll die here, and they do manage to get Urban Punk to safety, as both teams, it looks like, will go for their pumpkins. Looking at the talents quickly here, we've got Third Wind, Arsenal Synergy for Phoenix, which, if you don't know what it does, I don't blame you. Nobody plays this. Hitting here with base attack 3 times will repeater cannon's act with the next basic attack deals 150% more damage and has larger splash. Okay, so that's a little better for a poke. This is something I hadn't considered. When they gave this up and their pumpkins come in, it will help them take it back more quickly. So that is something interesting. As Phoenix and Dahaka battle, Urban Punk's gonna die, and he does! Shanks 1v1s the Dahaka of Urban Punk. Phase shift Q build for Sylvanas and extra wound timers, but then Chattering Teeth, so likely the Mind build. But oh, they're taking so much damage in the bot lane now. Brightwing goes down immediately, and Andrade's down to about a third of his health. And Sunraku ain't done chucking orbs. I'm sorry, I'll go over Rage's
You see
talents
a
here.
Q build coming out from Vala.
Another
which
kill.
is interesting. It does put their damage more based on cooldowns rather than Vala just stacking autos.
I think that's true, but at the same point, a lot of the members that she'll be fighting, Brightwing, Sylvanas, Junkrat, low health pools. If K4 can stack some Qs, they're not going to be able to trade at all, and defense of whatever they take will be easier, because I figure they're going to get probably 2 of these 3 altars here. They're looking to gank the Shanks B9 here with the Sunrock, but Andrade's coming. Now they're going to try and collapse onto this Li Ming. She's all alone in the 4v5, and she goes down. So now it looks like both top shrines may in fact go to Yavapai now instead, as
the ganker got ganked.
They made it a good turnaround. They just rotated faster than Rage. So we see Beetle build from Anubarak. Yes, the Q build as we discussed. Even-handed blessing. So I'm surprised in the heroic div, every heroic div Anduin I've cast has actually taken Power Word Shield. So I was a little surprised. I didn't realize it was so popular, but it is quite popular. Aether Walker and Enhanced Agility. So we do have Race Car Dahaka, which will become zooming to you from your nearest bush. Sylvanas is turning minions to her side with a mixture of deceit and a seduction as they try to push her. A new Anubarak from Honey Badger. They do so much damage to Sarah Lynn, and Junkrat is dead again. Either side that jumps on somebody can delete them very quickly, but Honey Badger's ease in from this Anubarak, the Burrow Charge, is locking people down long enough lagwag, and with the instant follow-up route, they just die. Howdy, howdy, Saddlebear. Welcome to the cast. So Shanks is double soaking while the members of Rage are now in a 3v4. And it looks like they're considering invading onto this camp, but they do jump on K4K, but Andrade takes a lot of damage. Now Shanks does rotate down, but Dahaka's going to dig in. He grabs Andrade and he will die. And now there's no tag. Oh my goodness, the blow up there. Sunraku's Li Ming blows up Li Ming. Or sorry, blows up Brightwing, but Phoenix gets the kill on Anduin in return.
Shanks gonna get senior?
No, he's in the bush, but he's he's backing back home. He manages to get out safely. A lot of damage here on K4 and Honey Badger. If they're not careful, they could take a lot of damage here. So there's only one altar right now, and Urban Punk is going to get it for free because they won that last team fight. So the score will be 32-32. But the red team does have to back out from this bottom shrine. Their health is too low, and because they lost their healer, they can't sustain here. They will take their camp as Yavapai takes their bottom fort back. So now that we've had a moment to breathe, what kind of ults do you think we'll see coming in at 10, Icon?
I hope we see the usual ults on the side of Rage. I think Li Ming's choice is going to be interesting. Does she take wave or does she take I call it line?
Here comes the intended gank against Shanks, but he reads it.
They
very
didn't go
early
wide
and gets
enough.
out.
They didn't go wide enough.
So that means that Dahaka will get the top 4 back, so we'll be on even footings heading into level 10, and both teams are basically equal here. 10 scope, we see Haymaker, or no, we see the Avatar, the Planet Cracker, Wailing Arrow, and the Blink Heal, and the Rocket Ride, which may help Junkrat get out of these dangerous situations where Sarah Lynn's been dying.
Rocket Ride is intriguing. It's actually kind of, in a way, you're leaving your team to sacrifice. You're sacrificing yourself for damage, but you can get back very quickly on this map.
As we were talking, the Rage team took the top pumpkins, which don't always get taken, but we'll put some pressure on Shanks to deal with this problem. As Urban Punk will also try to get the tongue. Oh, a good dodge there by Shanks, but it does mean he gives up the pressure and these pumpkins walk right in. K4 looking to get position on the altar here. And yeah, the Planet Cracker gives Shanks kind of a pseudo-global ultimate, the opportunity to at least have damage anywhere on the map, even if he isn't. On the other side, we do have the Cocoon, Strafe, Light Bomb, Wave of Force, and Isolation. So always now, Shanks taking a lot of damage so far already. Andrade in the back, trying to be annoying to the backline. Urban Punk goes in and grabs Shanks, but a great cleanse there from Galactos. The light bomb engage misses, and now Shanks is very low, but Andrade will get cocooned by Honey Badger. Now it is a 3v4 as Lagwagon is channeling, but he gets hit by the Planet Guard. The channel does not go through, but Sarah Lynn goes down. This fight is all over the place. Honey Badger goes in, misses Galactos there. There is a silence on the Dahaka from the Wailing Arrow. They're going to try attacking Sunraku, but not able to. Lagwagon attempts again to get this channel. He's in it again. Andrade's going to jump on him. A fair amount of damage going out here from the Sylvanas, but Shanks has to teleport out, and he dies to Sunraku, and Sylvanas goes down as well. Sunraku very low. Andrade trying to get at least one kill for his team, but he's not going to make it. He's going to escape. He lives, and the third win kicks in. So in the first team fight with ult,
combination is just deleting the other team. You'll see their health bars are just not able to sustain it.
and Andrade not quite able to provide enough peel. The damage was good, and Honeybed, I mean, I feel like that fight went as well as it could have possibly gone for Yavapai. The Light Bomb engage missed. Honey Badger missed his first burrow charge, and they still lost that fight. They're going to have to try to find ways to win this game in the macro sense, because, again, that team fight went about as well as it could for them, and they weren't able to get the kills they were looking for. So bottom fort will go over again once more to Rage. The jump in onto Sarah Lynn's Junkrat, but there is no follow-up there. A ton of damage goes on Honey Badger, and Lagwagon does pull him out with the Celestial... I forget what it's called. And we do have a pause here. Oh. Li Ming... So Sunraku has disconnected, and we have Li Ming here. I hope you've left chat on so you can tell me when they're planning on coming back in, Icon, because I turned chat off, so it's not on.
Yeah, they're just apparently they're just saying about the DC. They're thinking he's back now.
So 13s are coming in. We've got Burning Beetles, Gloom, Speed of the Pious, Glass Cannon, and Ferocious Stalker. Now, Glass Cannon is an interesting choice. The large enough health bars in the last team fight is kind of what won that fight for Rage. With Li Ming being that much squishier and Shanks as aggressive as he was, I actually do wonder if Glass Cannon actually tilts a little bit towards the win condition for Yavapai, and the game will resume. What do you think, Icon?
It's hard to tell. They're pretty evenly matched. If Yavapai is ever able to get all their damage on the same target, they're gonna go bye-bye.
That was an amazing sorry to interrupt, but Galactus, the amazing polymorph, which prevents Honey Badger from getting in with the Light Bomb, and he's now. He's not going to be able to start any more fights like this. They do lock down Andrade and Murden. Everyone is here in the bot lane to take back this fort. Andrade takes a lot of damage. They do get it back before the altar spawns, and that is crucial. He's going to back to get mana. I wonder if Honey Badger will at least tap in an effort to do the same. The altar will spawn in 5 seconds in the bot lane, but they're well ahead in experience now because Dahaka was gaining experience while Shanks was helping his team. They're already behind by 8. Shanks walks into the bush and gets absolutely caught. He eases out and does manage to teleport. The Cocoon goes on a Brightwing as they capture that altar. Are they going to look to follow this up with a fight? No, they are backing out. As both K4 and Honey Badger are lower on mana than you'd really want to be before starting a team fight. Urban Punk dug down just to make sure that there wasn't a losing fight for his team, but there was no fight at all.
Stun on K4K, but he's going to get out.
Shanks looking to fight Urban Punk here. A good tongue by Urban Punk, and Shanks is going to have to just clear the wave. But the members of Yavapai now looking to return the favor and take the bottom fort of Rage for themselves. Although they are quickly pushed off as Andrade's health gets chunked out. But again, that third win means he'll be full health before you know it. Let's turn off the in-game during pauses.
You gotta check the bush. Hey, check the bush.
Oh, I see. Sure. Oh my goodness! Never mind. That glass cannon was perfect. It blew up Junkrat before I even saw it was happening. Out comes the strafe. Andrade takes a lot of damage and has to pop his. Oh my gosh, I shouldn't do that. Has to pop his avatar just to stay alive. He does tap. But the kills are 9-3 for Rage right now. Their comp is working better as a comp that fights. You look at that combination. The Q from K4K and the combo from Li Ming, and Andrade almost dies immediately. He does. Just dies immediately. With half his health as a avatared Murden, just blown to snot.
Magic missiles are going to really start chunking people. With,
Going to. Oh, they are fully on board, especially with Mirror Ball as well. That's going to blow those members up. So once again, there's a big lead now for Rage. They have that bottom fort. They've got a Wave and Pumpkins pushing into the top fort, and they have map control as 3 altars spawn. It looks like they're going to try and push off Yavapai from this one on the top left as well. There's no one headed towards the bottom one. There's the jump in. Here comes the light bomb, and they get on Sarah Lynn and blow her to bits. But Sunraku, out comes the isolation onto Shanks 9. He teleports away just as it wears off. Sylvanas is still caught there. He manages to tap, so he stayed alive so far. Galactus and Shanks taking a lot of damage to K4K. Here comes the stun, and the Planet Cracker doing so much damage! K4K gets saved and pulled by Lagwagon. As Aura Luna comes back, though, she kills Honey Badger, and she's going to try to go in. No, she does not take the Banshee's Wail. I forget what that's called now. But she doesn't take her E. Is it? Haunting Wave. She doesn't take the Haunting Wave. So, Galactos and Shanks are going to try and stop this as best they can, but Galactos gets immediately tongued and killed by Urban Punk, and now Shanks is alone, although his team is returning in. Shanks looks to kill Vala. He does! Lagwagon taking a lot of damage, and Urban Punk's going to try the tongue. He misses because of the teleport. Incredible play. And this time, the E, the Haunting Wave from Aura Luna, does kill Lagwagon. And we've just been saying how the team fights were working out better for Rage, but this time, they weren't able to follow up properly and ended up staggering deaths one after another from that top lane fight. And after
Yavapai was able to get all 3 of their damage dealers into the fight, and we saw that changed the way the location of the fight was happening, and it just snowballed in their favor. What was happening beforehand was Shanks was committed to soaking while he wasn't really able to contribute to the team fights.
Yeah, so it looks like... Uh-oh. It looks like they're going to jump on Shanks here, try to blow him up, and they do. That's one downside to playing...
Phoenix in the offlane.
Well, playing any deep range DPS in the offlane is you don't have the health pool to necessarily use your escape. As many of those...
Wraparound.
Now, both teams... Oh... They got the immediate, so there's no cleanse there. There's going to be so much damage, and Andrade goes down on the Murd. And Galactus and Aura Luna backing up, just managing to dodge Sunraku's combo, but they're going to go to take this bottom fort back. And this has been a big priority for Rage, and they're doing a good job staying on top of it. But that means the other members of Yavapai are going to rotate top to try and prevent their top lane from being exploited, as they are down 15-26. Although this map in particular, it's not over until Stitch's sister sings. Urban Punk is there.
Urban Punk's he's gonna get
out. They gank him, and so he was going for this top camp because all 3 members had rotated. It will go over to the members of Yavapai as the members of Rage go to the middle. And they're going to look to just do the same thing, use a new Beetles to blow up the mid 20. Urban Punk is there. He's going to try to go for a Tunk. They click on. They're going to attack Shanks again. Again, the complete CC kills him. 20 is hit by Rage, and now they have Rewind. Yeah.
Again.
So we have Acrobat, so the extra vaults for Vala, Chastise, Wave of Force Upgrade, and Contagion. So here comes the Rocket Ride. They're going to try and kill Anduin. He takes so much damage, but he does survive. Out comes the Cocoon onto Muradin. So there was the capture on the right, and now they're going to come back, and they're down a character. Oh, the blow up onto Sylvana. She goes down. So does Brightwing, and now they're going to try and kill Andrade, who had been caught. Here comes the Light Bomb off of Lagwagon. He's not close enough. Andrade does get CC'd. They chase him down. They're doing so much damage. He's getting away with 300 health, 200 health. But Sunraku's going to try and finish him off. Urban Punk trying to stop the bombs from Sarah Lynn, so they can't deny K4K from capturing here. And they'll get another 5 shots there. It's now 5-26, and they're looking to take the boss off the map to make it 26-1. And Yavapai's going to have to try hard to soak here. They are truly, well and truly behind in this game, in this map, and you know, for the series. Considering that this is game 1 of the series, they're behind in the series. They are looking to take bottom port back now, however.
They need to soak 20. They need to take the fort back. There's a lot that needs to go right. What they really need is to win a team fight.
They put a ton of damage onto Urban Punk's dog, and here comes... Oh, the stun!
Oh!
What a stun prevents Shank's Planet Cracker. There's the engage, but only Sylvanas gets caught. She takes so much damage from the combo, and she's killed by the Wave of Force. Galactus gets cocooned, not able to help as Shanks goes down as well. Andrade just trying to stay alive as he's getting hit by everything. Galactus does do the blink heal, and Andrade does manage to live as the Rocket Ride comes in and does kill Anduin. They try to grab Urban Punk, but instead it's Andrade that's grabbed him the murder, and he's tongued and killed. Sunraku tries to hit Galactus, who walks into the combo and is instantly blown to little fruit fly bits. There is one altar spawning, but it's going to spawn before...
Yeah, all they need is one of these pumpkins to get in, and it's game.
Sarah Lynn does try to blow K4K under the super cannons, but he manages to vault out and stay alive. And again, this is just Honey Badger jumps in, and in go that, so they don't even need it. Game 1 will go to the members of Really Aggro Ghoul Elites. 1-0, GG. That was quite the game.
Yeah, it was pretty back and forth for a while there.
But eventually, yeah, again, their ability to pressure this map with the more standard composition did kind of push this 3 DPS combo into... Well, it just pushed them to fight the way that Rage wanted to instead of the way Yavapai wanted to. And, I mean, you can't deny that Shanks is very, very skilled on that Phoenix. He did some really great things, did a lot of work. But it couldn't make up for what they were missing from the off lane, what you usually get being some tankiness, some peel, some CC. And so as they were forced to fight the way Rage wanted them to, they weren't able to use the game plan they wanted to, which was to pressure lanes while denying altar captures. The hard engage from the Anub'arak and the Haka just kept them from trying to keep Rage at an arm's distance. So we'll see where our next game is and who chooses that map. And if they do another pause, we will quickly go to OBS and switch to the map best of 3 view, because that is what we're supposed to do, and I totally forgot.
It's fine.
And thank you for the reminder, Tokebi. I do need to be reminded of things like this. It's good to be reminded because none of us are perfect. So even without Garrosh in game 1, the calls, the macro, the plays of Honey Badger, still good. And this was a team that was in Div D last season and got pushed back down, but if they keep playing like this, they might find their way making it back up again. So Yavapai is going to have to do a quick reset and figure out what they would like to do for game number 2. Anything interesting in the talent builds as we wait for the next?
The game kicked me out, so I can't really view them.
Okay, no, that's okay. I'm looking. 20s were pretty standard. We hadn't hit 20s yet for Yavapai. And all right. So the next map has been chosen. We will be facing, or these two teams will be facing each other on the Battlefield of Eternity.
I think this map favors Yavapai's strategies a lot more. You don't have to force your offlaner into double soaking. You can just clear the lane and rotate to the team fight.
So this map was picked again by Rage as as first pick was taken by the losing team, which was Yavapai in this situation. So we're going to see a two-lane map with a lot of aggressive fighting, which is not a weakness for Rage by any stretch. It is very much a strength for them. But as you say, with an off-lane DPS, the lanes are a little shorter, so you don't have to worry about ganks as much. And having someone who can do a lot of damage when it comes to race time is a huge asset. Who do you think we might see in the off lane this time if you were to just take a stab in the dark there, Icon?
For Rage, I think we're gonna see a normal offlaner. I think it's gonna be maybe there's a higher priority on Artanis, or like a damage dealing bruiser such as like Sonya. For Yavapai,
Just about
uh,
anyone.
yeah.
I think Lunara, in their style, I think Lunara could actually be really strong here. Get some vision around them, get more control over rotates, and then she actually does provide some CC with that, with the slow on her toxin. So if it doesn't
Yes.
get banned, I could see them taking her. But again, if we remember correctly, it was banned in game one, so they may not just want to let that through, as it could mess with some of the members or some of the offlaners that Urban Punk would want to play. We are waiting just a moment for some of the members of these teams to be ready. It looks like everyone's readied up, so we should be popping into this draft right away. So it is 1-0 in this best of 3 for really Aggro Ghoul elites, but we're going to pop into the draft. Welcome to the battlefield of eternity. First pick, first ban should be on the side of Yavapai. And it is. Perfect. So again, we'll see what bans come out. So this is another map where Garrosh can be quite dominant if played well.
Throwing people into the Immortal Stuns is always a cool strategy.
With the shorter lanes, there's lots of opportunities to kind of grab and flip people. Diablo can be especially strong on this map. Johanna is strong, but she's been banned pretty frequently. And we did see a ban from her on the side of Rage last ban phase. So, but the first ban will go over to Yavapai, and they would not like to see Stukov again. Always a good pick. That is, I would say that's probably the most annoying support in the game right now, or healer in the game right now. Those puddles. His stun, or his silence, is literally bigger and longer than Sylvanas' ultimate. And he can do it on a much lower cooldown. I don't know, man. Now we do see the Johanna banned out yet again. Alright, do you think we'll see the same ban that we saw last time, which was the Leo?
I don't really see much Leo played on this map. I mean, he's always strong with his Entomb, but I think a Garrosh ban would be more. If we see another Leo ban, okay.
Now, Leo, in the late game with auto attack build at 13 and 16 can get really strong on point, but I agree with you. Early game, I'm surprised that they felt this was a priority, and it must be because they feel Urban Punk's Leo is very strong. So we got one ban here. Last time it was the Lunara at this point. We'll see if Rage would like to go for the same ban. No, it's Sergeant Hammer this time, which Shanks can also play in the offlane and play very, very well. So let's see what the priority pick is for Yavapai this time. Do you think they'll prioritize the first pick Brightwing again? Nope. Well, that's answered. Nope.
No.
They go for the Vala, which is probably one of the best all-around range DPS on this map.
There it is. There's the Garrosh.
There's Garrosh and Dahaka again. So they're looking to just once again have full control over the front line with tongues and flips. So we'll see what is prioritized here by the members. They like to let Shanks pick last. So, excuse me, we'll see what gets picked here by Andrade and probably Galactos. I think they usually like to pick their healer and tank here, and they do. So Anduin, Muradin.
Anduin's a good counter to Garrosh, but I think they still need something to control the Garrosh, not just pull the flip target out. I think a Jaina is always really good into Garrosh, something that slows Lunara, Jaina. Anything that keeps him, forcing him to basically time his initiation around his unstoppable cooldown is 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 just pure value.
We see the Phoenix ban this time. They felt Shanks' Phoenix was strong enough. They would not like to see it again, and it can be strong against the Immortal, so he's going to have to try something interesting. But the Lunara is open this time. On the other hand, I wonder if they'll go for a little bit of a healer choke, although Lag has a decently wide healer pool. Otherwise, they might try to get rid of other strong auto attackers like Zul'jin. But no, the Li Ming is banned this time, and Sunraku was pretty solid at hitting combos, so she's both good on this map and was good in Sunraku's hands. He's going to be forced. Well, actually, both their DPS are going to be forced onto different heroes this time, as Vala was picked away and Li Ming was banned. Do you think we see the Zul'jin this game?
I think Zul'jin took a big hit in the last patch. Nazebo.
We have the Nazebo.
They are playing for late game.
They're going to want to scale. And the Brightwing... So, the healers have swapped teams. Not the players, but the healing characters have swapped teams. We've now got double globals on the side of Rage, and the Anduin for a little more battlefield control on the side of the Yavapai. So they're going to take their last two picks here. Sarah Lynn on Junkrat last time, not as strong on this map, and Shanks with whatever unusual thing he's pulling out this time. We see the little Jin from Shanks and Artanis! We're going to see Shanks in the 4-man, or is that a 4-man Artanis? I don't know the answer to that.
This is going to sound really, really weird, but if Sunraku can play Lily here, she just shuts down their whole team. Their whole team is auto attack damage, except Vala has the option to go into Q build. But Artanis is auto attack damage, Zul'jin is auto attack damage.
And Hanzo for the race.
It's just yeah, Hanzo for the race, but the Lily would be an option, and they would be pretty much unkillable.
I don't know. I think that's offlane Zul'jin with a 4-man Artanis. I legitimately believe that's what's going to happen here, and I think they're going to try and use it to confuse the members of Rage. But going into game number 2, we've got a 1-0 lead for really Aggro Ghoul elites. Let's see how game 2 goes. Welcome to the battlefield of eternity.
Whose comp do you like?
If this is offlane Artanis, I prefer Yavapai. If this is 4-man Artanis with offlane Zul'jin, then I'm gonna vomit. I think both Hanzo and Nazebo take a little time to get strong. Hanzo needs his ult and needs to really needs to be hitting W's to be good, and Nazebo's just weak early.
The Nazebo pick really throws me off about Rage's comp. I want to see this in action. Like,
I think Yavapai has a better comp, but it's going to depend how they play it. I guess that's how I would put it. They have individually good players, but they didn't seem particularly coordinated last game.
That can happen to the best of us.
So, in the blue trunks, on the side of the high heaven supporting Ilarion, the Angel Immortal, is Yavapai, CloneWars, Samuro, and the Youth Swim Club. I don't know, whatever. Andrade playing Murden, Galactos playing Anduin, Oraluna on Vala, Saralini on Artanis, and Zul'jin being played in the offlane by Shanks B9.
And on the red side, Rage, Dahaka being played by Urban Punk, Garrosh being played by Honey Badger, Nazebo being played by K4K, Brightwing being played by Lagwagon, and Hanzo being played by Sunraku.
They are supporting the Burning Hells and Belith, the Demon Immortal. Because you guys really came to this channel for the lore. Sarah Lynn looking for a trade in the bush, but Honey Badger is not there. Both tanks keeping themselves a secret. So let's have a quick look here early on at these skills. We've got third wind for the Murph. Oh,
Anduin drug, Anduin polyed, Anduin dead.
And a good pick there. He walked up too far forward and gets caught by Honey Badger's Garrosh, which is pretty well known to be very strong. So we've got even-handed blessing for the dead Andy as he comes in. It is Q-Build Vala, amateur opponent from Sarah Linney. They're going to look... Oh, they looked for the trade on K4, but they missed. And Honey Badger is getting healed, and a Lagwagon will teleport there. We have Bone Slicer on the Zul'jin. And in the top lane, it's going to be tough for Urban Punk, just because Zul'jin poke is very frustrating. both from the spinning axes at all. So
I
we've got
don't know how I feel about this.
We've got race car build from Dahaka. There's the flip on Andrade. Is he going to get pulled out? No, not fast enough. He dies as well. They're just walking into Honey Badger's garage, and he's teaching them why they shouldn't do that. We've got actually Warbreaker for Garrosh as opposed to the usual Unrivaled Strength, but they will rush down and take this camp, and it will not be contested. Spider build for K4K's Nazebo, Hypershift as per usual, and Simple Geometry. Sarah Lynn just got herself killed there too, but Honey Badger's Garrosh was feeling merciful.
You know what I would like to see? I would like to see a Honey Badger throw straight into a Nazebo wall.
Oh, Andrade gets flipped again, and Ando's not close enough to pull. He's going to die.
That was nice. I kind of semi-called it.
These kills are 3-0, and it's literally just they drafted the Anduin, and he can't get close enough to save people who get flipped. It's gonna be a rough game for these guys if they don't find a way to answer this. So there's the pull. It's now down. But the flip will happen. Oh, and the teleport to Urban Punk from Lagwagon means Shanks dies on the Zul'jin. And unfortunately for those of us who love 3-game sets, this game is looking like it is going strongly the way, at least early on, of Rage Gaming.
Yeah, they're already half level up.
Both teams are going to go for their bruiser camps to send them walking along as the Immortals spawn to try and get, but it's going much, much faster.
Top lane is going to be really pushed here.
Yes, as
they're going to have a bruiser and
siege camp.
But
yeah, this is what they drafted this comp for with the Zul'jin and the Vala for incredible race, and in fact they are blowing through the health bar of Belith here. And it is, yeah. They've done a ton more damage. Shanks is going to go up top to clear this. I wouldn't have suspected this, but he is going to do it. And they're going to the Immortals are going to settle in the aggressive space. Andrade just trying to keep the enemy team honest, but Honey Badger will walk in. Andrade is now all alone here. Urban Punk does dig in. He's going to try the tongue on Murden. He gets it. Murden does not yet have
he's going to get Immortal
Avatar,
stun.
and he's dead. Now, they're still getting damage onto this. Hanzo, on the other hand, is soloing Ilarion on the far side. There's the Warbreaker from Honey Badger. There's the flip. Oh, Sarah Lynn gets flipped this time into this. She gets knocked up again, but Honey Badger is getting very low from Aura Luna's auto attacks. And Shanks is hitting Urban Punk. Or does Urban Punk hit the tongue here? No. But he does pop his passive. Pap is passive. Oh, through the wall, the Warbreaker. Then in gets flipped Galactos. Murden does jump in to try to save his healer, and so far that's been successful. But despite their huge lead, Hanzo manages to defeat Ilarion, and the Demon will be taking command in the bot lane. And so even though they have better race, they have nothing to deal with this Garrosh. Nothing at all.
Yeah, if Garrosh continues to remain unchecked, this game is just going to snowball really hard for the side of Rage.
They are about a level and a half ahead. They are going to get this gate. Sarah Lynn possibly looking for a swap, not able to find it. Andrade just gets out from that Demons. Honey Badger looking to grab Artanis there, but not able to catch up in time. Anduin does get stunned there. Honey Badger doesn't go in to grab him. There's the flip, though, onto Artanis. Takes a ton of damage. The shield protects them for a moment, but dead. It was an interesting draft, and I think they were trying to maybe confuse the members of Rage with the Zul'jin off lane and the Artanis in the 4-man, but it just hasn't worked out the way they would have wanted. And Rage just cleanly going for whatever they can get on the map next. Andrade comes to check, sees that they do have it. Only 10 Q stacks on the Vala right now. I mean, there's 84 Spider stacks. Garrosh has more Groundbreaker stacks than Vala has Q stacks right now. That's how much control they have over this game. There is the flip onto Artanis, does use Prism to get out. Andrade jumped in, but now he doesn't have a way to jump out as he takes so much damage from this Hanzo. Sunroku hits him with a simple geometry and kills him with the auto attack. In the top lane, side laners doing side laner things. And here comes the Gargantuan, pushing back the members of Yavapai as Blackos takes a ton of damage. They try to kill him with the Q of the Hanzo, but not able to do so. So we don't see Dragon Arrow, we actually see Dragon Strike with the Blink Heal, Gargantuan, Decimate, and Isolation. And Decimate, Honey Badger has said he feels Decimate is just a stronger ultimate than Taunt at this point in time.
I agree.
There's the flip onto Sarah Lynn. Takes so much damage. Artanis tries the flip, but unfortunately just gets her in more trouble, and she dies. As now they are racing. On the far side, Urban Punk by himself is enough to prevent Yavapai from racing, as they still haven't hit 10 yet. K4K and Urban Punk looking to stop the members of Yavapai. Pardon me, excuse me. There's the flip onto Zul'jin. He doesn't have his ult yet. He does. Galactus takes a ton of damage. He's backed off. And the first half of the race, the halftime game, is in favor of Rage. Sarah Lynn for the... They do get the swap on Sunrocket. They're trying to kill this Hanzo. He gets the flip over the wall, but the Volley Q is enough and kills him. They hit 10. They're going to choose their ultimates now. I don't think they can get back in time to make it matter for this particular Immortal fight, though. But we see Avatar, Light Bomb, Rain of Vengeance, Guillotine, and not Taz Dingo. That is an interesting choice.
Martinez hasn't picked yet either.
And it is Purifier Beam.
Okay.
They were looking at invading this camp. They choose not to, but Belith will now go to the top lane and start punching that fort in the mouth. He's got about 2/3 shield, too.
A nice swap on Artanis, and Artanis
is dead to the Decimate. Here comes the Twin Dragon. So much damage. Anduin's dead, and Vala is at about 15% health. Andrade is slowed. He has to pop the Avatar. He's caught here. Dahaka kills Zul'jin in the bot lane. Honey Badger not able to kill Andrade. But Belith will kill the fort, as Sunraku's going to try, and no. He chooses to save his Q. Andrade doesn't get very far with that leap. So Belith now in melee form with his shield gone.
This might be a keep.
Honey Badger does get swapped in there. He's only at 300 health. He's also taking turret shots. He goes down. Gary the Gargantuan pops in to say hello. He's going to go down quickly as well, but Murden gets blown up by the Hanzo W.
Here.
They do have the minion wave, but they don't have their tank. I think this may be a step away for them unless... Oh, a big guillotine, but Shank still had most of his health left, so it did not manage to kill the Hanzo. I was going to say, unless Urban Punk dug up on Dahaka there, that push was done, but he is busy collecting the camp bottom, and the rest of his team will connect the camp top, which is also a denial of experience. There's no way for the members of Yavapai to collect a camp to catch up in XP right now. And they are basically 2 full levels behind.
They have to catch up through team fights. They need to keep getting these picks.
And we haven't seen a ton of value from the globals, but when they have used them, they have worked. The early kill on Shanks because of the Brightwing teleport. The dig in bottom by Dahaka just to make sure that their team got that camp. They haven't needed a lot of global value, but when they used it, they have got value out of it. And once again, Gary just used to start knocking on the keep gate. Hello, is anyone home? They should have installed the doorbell so Gary didn't have to knock so hard. So, a huge wave with a catapult and 3 Sage Minions here. The Immortals will be spawning in 20 seconds as Rage heads for their Bruiser camp. There is no Bruiser camp to collect for the members of Yavapai, so they are looking to defend the Immortal they want to attack. They're looking to set up to take it. They do pretty good horse synergy, except for Shanks. They're going to jump in here for a team fight onto Ilarion, and they do swap in the Brightwing. She dies, but here comes the Twin Dragons, which leaves Araluna at nearly no health. Urban Punk is getting chunked out here. Andrade's going to jump back in, and Honey Badger's very low. The stun comes out on Nazebo. The guillotine comes out, but doesn't appear to hit anyone. Sun Raku takes a ton of damage, goes down as well. They're now fighting with Urban Punk. Artanis does get grabbed, but they don't have the opportunity to do a ton of damage on the Artanis. Out comes the Spiders. Andrade's taking a lot of damage. He's going to go down to the Dark Swarm from Dahaka. The Gargantuan will come out, but gets knocked back by the Angel. The camp top lane is getting some value here onto the keep, but the members of the blue team are just desperate to get the lead to the halftime game. And even with the kills, they're not that far ahead. Sarah Lynn will go down also. And with no tank and no frontliner, and down 16, and losing their keep, the members of Yavapai have to back off. They're looking to see if Oraluna, they're gonna try and catch her. They haven't managed to tongue her yet, but there's the flip, there's the polymorph. She dies while Nazebo completes the race, and Hanzo is coming to back him up. And just complete domination in this game by Rage right from the beginning, controlling every aspect with that Garrosh. And I think, you know, team is playing against Rage coming up, they're going to have to consider making Garrosh a permaban. Honey Badger knows exactly what he wants to do with this character, and he does it. Here comes the guillotine, but it misses. Honey Badger does get grabbed, but Lagwagon flying out. Oh, there's the teleport, but a huge stun from a Stormbolt. Lagwagon's going to go down as well. Here come the Double Dragons doing tons of damage to Shanks, who's caught in the Nazebo wall, and he dies. Andrade does manage to stun out the Nazebo here. Out comes the Gargantuan. Out comes the Isolation from the tail of Dahaka, but doesn't hit anybody. Anduin manages to get the final blow on the Nazebo. They kill him, but then the arrow of Sunraku's Hanzo kills Murden. Sarah Lynn trying to dodge away from these DPS characters, but also trying to save their fort by staying away from her team. She'll go down as well. This is a 3-for-3. With Oraluna and Galactos left on Team Yavapai, and Urban Punk and Sunraku left on Team Rage, the advantage with the Immortal does go to Team Rage. Oraluna and Hanzo finding out who's better at dueling.
Look at the double catapults building in top lane along with this wave. The
guillotine is used there to try to do extra damage to the Immortal, but again, it's not that much since Shanks was at full health.
This is going to do some work to the keep. I mean, to the core. I mean, 50 or 49%, 47.
And now they have to worry about the back door. Garrosh can tank a lot of hits from the keep.
The back door, if it was a little lower, 30%, yeah.
They're setting up the Chinese party bush here. They're looking for bad rotates. But
what's the shield? Yeah, they get one or two kills and it's game over.
They are still one level ahead, but they've lost the 2-level lead that they had. Orlando comes in. There's the flip, and the flip over the wall is imperative. Lagwagon grabs. There's the swap onto K4 here, but Hawk is coming in and is going to do a lot of damage to Laura Luna with the Dark Swarm and kills her finally.
Trade.
The silence goes down onto the Murd, and Lagwagon's getting very low. He does go down to the Q. The guillotine comes out, but hits nothing. Oh, Urban takes so much damage there, and that's a 3-for-1.
Yavapai has almost... Look at Nazebo.
But
Nazebo
has phoned his friend Gary the Gargantuan to start punching the core. It is getting cleared, but they've gained out 10%. 15%, 20%, and the Tox will continue to tick it down. Core's at 19% as they kill Hanzo.
But look at this.
So a 5...
Yavapai is caught up in levels.
And they did get the 5-man team kill, but they also lost 20% on their core. Like, they won that fight and lost it at the same time. And they're in a really rough position. Even if they win the next fight 5-0, someone will always have to be at the back preventing catapult capture or catapult damage because they have yet to get a single fort from Rage Gaming yet. Right now they're trying to take this bottom fort, but if they're not careful, Shanks will get killed by Honey Badger's flip. And out comes the Groundbreaker.
I think they need to leave the fort and go and prioritize the Immortal. Because if they lose this Immortal, it's game.
Here comes Urban Pack Superman. He gets netted. Here comes the guillotine. It misses again. And yes, he does manage to kill. I believe that was with a tongue. But they lock down Urban Punk and kill him also. The fort does finally go down for the side of Yavapai. Andrade gets flipped in and knocked back. Here comes the polymorph from Lagwagon, but he gets flipped in by Sarah Lynn. The blue team is starting to look really strong in team fights. Lagwagon blink heals out as here comes the Twin Dragon. Andrade Light Bomb does go down onto Honey Badger. He's taking a lot of damage as the Avatar is popped. He manages to heal himself with his W, Honey Badger does. Andrade leaps over, but a good heal there from Lagwagon's blink heal as Andrade's down to 300 hit points.
Andrade, get out!
And the third wind does kick in.
And look at Nazebo! Nazebo's back! Gary's back!
Andrade and Galactus have come back, but again, it's the damage over time of this Nazebo. It's melting this core. The zombie wall pops up. Will it be enough to kill the core? Bala is killed, but Lagwagon goes down as well. Sarah Lynn doing what she can, but the core is down to 7%. Honey Badger flips Sarah Lynn back. They're trying to get damage on this Immortal.
And there are 3 catapults mounting in top.
Dahaka's looking to push top. Now Shanks is here. He's going to get isolated. Yes, there's the isolation. The Dark Swarm in the tongue. Shanks has to get away here if he wants to defend this. Here comes the Lurker Strain to slow down the Zul'jin. And he's grabbed and killed, and now this wave is pushing right into the core. Galactus is sent back to handle this, as the rest of the team is trying to enter. No! Sarah Lynn gets stunned by Belith by trying to back where the circle was going to be. And this is going to lead to an opportunity to win the race for the members of Rage. They've come online, but they've come online too late. If they can win...
playing this very nicely.
If they can win...
forcing pressure at the core while also forcing pressure on the Immortal.
There is the flip. Andrade and Sarah Lynn trying to come in. There's the halftime show to the favor of Rage. The ultimate, the beam, Purifier Beam does come down on Sunraku. The stun comes out on Honey Badger. Lagwagon teleports in onto Sunraku. This fight is all over the place. In the top lane, Urban Punk is fighting Sarah Lynn's Artanis. The tongue, it does catch them, but Urban Punk is extremely low. Andrade taking a ton of damage, and Sunraku does manage to kill him. Sarah Lynn tries to kill Urban Punk, but he manages to burrow just in time to not die. And once again, Nazebo says, I don't care. Me and Gary are going to a party at your place. You're not invited. Vala and the 2 racers are here to try and stop Nazebo. They do kill Nazebo before he breaks through the shield. But on the far side, the Rage has managed to kill Artanis. It's a 3-for-1. And they just have to send back multiple people because Nazebo's ability to do damage is huge. And there are 4 catapults building on the core. Game over to Winions. It is 2-0 for the members of Rage. GG. So we'll see if we can get a an interview for our friends in the 2-0 win from Rage. 2 good games and just an incredible final win there. Final push with those what's the word I'm looking for? With those back doors over and over, but eventually they just couldn't stop it while also trying to contain the race. And they forced their opponents to make decisions, and they made them make bad decisions. So we're going to pop into a lobby so we can talk to some of the members of Really Aggro Ghoul Elites. Hello, welcome, guys. So, game 1, no Garrosh, no problem. It wasn't banned. This caster at least was fully expecting to see the Garrosh come out, but you guys decided to go with the noob. I mean, Honey Badger's Garrosh was absolutely a king on your last Towers of Doom game. What made you guys choose to go in a different direction this time?
Brightwing. Honestly, like the Brightwing pick is what makes me not want to play Gary.
Fair enough, but yeah, your Nubrak was certainly no slouch either. Definitely some strong play there. Did you know coming in that you were going to see Shanks on some weird stuff?
Going in, yeah, we knew they were going to play weird. Yavapai is traditionally from what I remember playing against them, has always been kind of a out of the box kind of team.
Not gonna lie, I was calling Shogal on the first draft when I saw a Tychus Leo band and they had 2 picks available. I was like, do they Shogal right now?
Do you have any questions for our winners here, Icon?
The way you play, well, the way you played the second map was pretty much brilliant. You kept on pressuring their core while also pressuring the Immortal in the last fight. They actually did swing it back to the point where they were able to cut down on the 2-level lead that you guys had, and were actually able to hit 20 right around the same time as you. Was there ever a fear that your strategy was going to backfire because the sending them to Zebo was really risky?
That was kind of just a me call. I figured I could get the damage done. But yeah, we did kind of get a little bit scared. We saw them take the bot, fort down, and we're like, might not work.
Yeah, because while they do have a little bit of a weird style, their 3 damage dealers in the backline can really turn it on, especially if they get to late game and they're all scaled.
Yeah, we realized that too. Once they hit 7, we're like, oh, they're gonna have faster race than us, so we need to basically just kill them.
In the second game, as your final ban, you banned the Phoenix. Did Shanks impress you enough with this Phoenix in game 1, or did you just feel it would be quite a bit stronger in an Immortal phase?
I think it's more so it's more of annoying because he can jump to the backline how he can, and like that's just, and then the Immortal race, so that's why we got rid of it.
Oh, okay.
And like as 3 damage dealers, that's 20 decimate comes in. So like we knew if we hit late game 20, we should be okay, as long as they're next to Gary.
They also played it game 1, so we were kind of expecting it.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, you guys had some really good games, and you dominated all of game 2 right from the start. They just kept walking up to Garrosh and didn't seem to learn their lesson. So, in the round robin of season, if they let Honey Badger play Garrosh next series, I think I'd be surprised. You were fantastic again this week, Honey.
Thank you.
Do you guys have any shoutouts you'd like to make before we wrap the cast up tonight?
I'd like to thank both of our subs for filling in for us this time. Sam and Nemi.
And shout out to Lag. His polys on second game for every one of my throws was on point. He stopped the Murden several times for the jump. So
yeah,
shout out to Lag for his healing getting real good. He's really picking it up from practices.
Awesome. Glad to hear that it's paying off there. All right. Well, GG's, guys. It was great to watch and cast you tonight, and good luck going ahead, but not next week.
Thanks, sir.
We'll see you in game.
All right. Have a good one.
Good night. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is our series. Season 19, I believe it's week 4. We had Yavapai playing really Aggro Ghoul Elites, and it is a 2-0 domination for the really Aggro Ghoul Elites from Team Rage. Anything you'd like to let our viewers know before we shut down the cast here, Icon?
No, just yet another entertaining match from Divi. It's always fun to cast these teams and their unique strategies, because it's a different change from sometimes just seeing the same heroes played over and over again.
Yeah, definitely not married to the meta at this level. Well, thank you everybody for joining us. If you'd like to drop a follow, it'd be greatly appreciated. If we hit 50 followers, we can jump to affiliate. Otherwise, have yourself a great night. Enjoy some HOTS. If you'd like to see the VODs in the future, they will be on Twitch for 7 days. If after that you'd still like to check this for scouting or just enjoyment, they'll be over on YouTube at Omster. Thank you so much for joining us. Have yourself a great night. Go enjoy some HOTS.